Hello, Red Raider baseball fans. Thank you very much for joining us here at home at the Red Raider High School baseball field. We're just getting set for a Red Raider matchup in the Lake Erie League matchup against the Bearcats of Bedford High School. Our starting pitcher is going to be Marcus Birch, and no, that's not a name you are going to hear probably once again this season on the mound. But it's senior day, so head coach Stephen English is giving them the freedom to play just about where they want on the baseball field. The only non-senior on the defensive side of the ball is Thomas Barrett, number 9, out in left. And no, he's also not a left fielder, but it's the only unoccupied position, so he will be taking it. With him at left, at center it'll be Wes Call, over and right it'll be Cooper Mears. Now it looks like it is time to play ball. Marcus Birch, not one to pitch, but we will see how he does against Bedford. The first offering on its way, and yep, there you go. Low and away for ball number 1. Marcus Birch, number 7 on the back of that jersey, normally will be the outfielder, though he can just be all around. Normally never on the bump, however. This one swung on. Over to center. Wes Call just needing to range forward. He's got it for out number 1. Shaker so far yet to lose in any Lake Erie League matchups. They have so far swept Lorraine and swept Cleveland Heights. Garfield Heights, they swept them as well. They are yet to play Maple Heights, however, and we'll see what happens with that. Shaker hosting Bedford today. They're on the road tomorrow to Bedford. And this one swung on and missed a strike from Marcus Birch. So far, he's pitching a no-hitter. Gotta give him that much credit. We'll see if we can continue to give him that much credit moving forward. This next one swung on. Will that be foul? It will. Down the first base line, it'll head over to its right. Foul. And the play is dead. Birch, the kick, the pitch. And that hitter thought it would have been on the inside half of the plate. And I mean that it was, but it was still able to find the strike zone. Marcus Birch with the K. A backwards K. Next up, it'll be number 7 against number 7 of Bedford. The pitch. He held off. Looked like he wanted to swing, and perhaps he should have, as it's a called strike. Marcus Birch doing well for his inning on the bump. The next, on its way. Swung on. Down the first base line. Just about the same as the last one, too. Just barely foul to the right of the first base line. Marcus Birch looking to close out the inning. 2 strikes on him. There is strike 3. 3 outs, and we are done. A quick inning from Birch. And there you go. That's a way to start the game and pump up the crowd. 9 pitches, 8 strikes. Marcus Birch. We will be back to see how the Red Raiders fare on offense. We will be right back. Thank you very much for tuning in. An exciting start for this one. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Excited to call the rest of it for you. Thank you very much for joining us. We are getting set for the bottom half of the first. And batting leadoff, it's going to be Sam Frigoletti, who never a catcher, but in that first inning was your catcher. Needing to catch only one ball that got away from him for Marcus Birch. 9 pitches, 8 strikes. That one ball got away from Frigoletti. Well, Marcus Birch off to a good start on the mound, but it very well might be his only inning on the mound. That one up and in on Frigoletti. And we will see what he can do. Normally one to work the count and definitely work a walk if need be. The next offering. Right down the strike zone. Strike number 1, we're even, 1-1. Frigoletti in Nordonia on that away game, in Mayfield. Sam Frigoletti able to work the count to full on multiple occasions and then draw the walk off of many foul balls. A beautiful outing for Frigoletti, regardless of the final score. The 2-1. Swung on, fouled back, 2-2. We're back to even. Behind Frigoletti, it's going to be Flynn Block. Behind him, Marcus Birch in the 3-hole. The power guy, Nolan James in the 4-hole. Cooper Mears backing him up at 5. Kuda and McGinnis are 6 and 7. Wes Call and Thomas Barrett gopping off the lineup. The next to Frigoletti. Swung on, popped up. That one should get out of playable territory, and that it does. Behind the dish and over to that right side. Nobody away here. We're just getting started in a so far scoreless game near the bottom of the first. We'll do it again at 2-2. It's on its way. Swung on. This one popped up. This one should be in playable territory. That it is. The pitcher gets under it. And Frigoletti is retired.
Number 10, shortstop.
Flynn Block gonna be up next. He's normally in the 2-hole. No different here today. Typically, the infielder, we'll see him most likely shift around. And the first to him will be down low a ball to open up his AB. The pitcher, Bridgeforth, he was the one who got the pop up and foul ground that last out from Frigoletti. Flynn Block working a lovely 364 average. And that will run in and get him. That one looked like it hurt, too. In the numbers, if not just a bit below, on that left back. And, oof. With that, Flynn Block going to earn his spot over at first, and that'll bring up Marcus Birch. Number 7, he had the great first inning on the hill. So far working a 265 average. This one right to the second baseman. He'll throw on to first. Flynn Block will advance from first to second. So you never know. The Red Raiders got a man in scoring position with the big bat of Nolan James. Number 17, the number on the back of his jersey. And he is fun to watch if you are a Red Raider fan. Working a 373 average with 2 home runs in this season. Both here at the Red Raider ballpark. We'll see if he can do it again. This one, bit upstairs, ball number 1 to open up his at-bat. Nolan James tied for second on the team in the name of hits. This one will catch the strike zone for sure. And we're even, 1-1. Nolan James typically one to hit it over to the left side of the baseball field, though we've seen him a couple times, hit it into shallow right. Not much on the infield, or not with too much power over to that right side. Here it'll get away from the catcher, and Flynn Block will be in standing over at third. An easy steal for number 10. Bridgeforth already with 12 pitches here in this first inning. He's at an even 6 strikes and 6 balls. That deadlock will be broken here. The next offering. Swung on, fouled over to the right side. Not hitting a car. Don't worry about it. And now we're back to even 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away in the bottom of the first. One man's on. That's Flynn Block at third. Nolan James looking to take the early lead. This next offering. He held up just barely. You knew he wanted to go for it, but good plate discipline will not allow him to do so. Our full count with 2 away, a man in scoring position. Now this is quickly as high a pressure situation as you can just about get in a first inning. The pitch. Swung on. This one's got some power, but it looks like it'll be a routine fly out over and left. That it will be, as it's Pollard with the grab, and we will have a scoreless first inning. The only man able to get on was Flynn Block, even though not able to grab a hit, and we have a hitless first inning. And we'll see if that changes come the second. We'll see who's on the mound. We'll just see the defensive lineup. Could be very different from our first when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for joining us. We are getting set for the top of inning number 2. We had a scoreless and a hitless first inning. Either team looking to change that. The first pitch upstairs from Eli Kuda. Not one to typically pitch. This is his very first outing of the season. He hasn't pitched in either Arizona at the very beginning of the season or at all in the Shaker Heights campaign back in Ohio. This pitch swung on, fouled back into the cage. Two pitches contain a ball and a strike from Kuda. And this one, once again, upstairs, a ball. It was only Eli Kuda and Marcus Birch that shifted positions. They did a flip-flop of positions, this one upstairs. So with Eli Kuda coming in from third, taking the pitching position, moving out of the pitching position, and taking third is Marcus Birch. The outfield lineup is still the exact same. Full count to the batter Lennon, and the payoff pitch will catch the strike zone. There you go, Eli Kuda. Getting another backwards K for your Red Raiders, and that's already strikeout number 3 from the Red Raiders. Bedford quickly having a struggling time putting bat to ball. Shaker for the moment, coming off of another Lake Erie League game. That one ended in a mercy rule. Here, a long kick-in pitch from Kuda, and it tripped him up. A big swing and strike. And there you go. But Shaker, defending their home territory, they were technically the away team their last time out against Garfield Heights, but Garfield Heights' field was just unplayable. Here it's fouled back, and so Garfield Heights was able to get transportation and bust their way to Shaker. That one ended 13-2. Wes Call was on the mound for that one. Right now he's out in center field. The kick and pitch from Kuda swung on and missed. It'll be in the dirt, but the throw on to first will pull Nolan James off the bag, but he will recover and beat the running man over to first. Bit of an unfortunate throw from the man behind the dish, and that's Sam Frigoletti, but not exactly a position he's used to. Got to give him some sort of credit. So there's another strikeout, that time from Eli Kuda. So far, having a better outing than Marcus Birch, which is a surprise. Marcus Birch with a great outing, though Eli Kuda has thrown more pitches. He's already got as many strikeouts as Birch. However, perhaps I'm jinxing him. 2-0 our count. The next on its way, and oof. Bit upstairs. 3-0. With 2 away, Kuda needing to slow things down out there on the hill. The pitch, and that one outside, a 4-pitch walk from number 11. So it'll be Pryor taking his spot over at first. Eli Kuda now looking to face the pitcher for the Bedford Bearcats. That's Bridgeforth. The first to him. Upstairs, a stealing attempt. No throw will be made from Sam Frigoletti. And Bedford with a man in scoring position. He's over at second. Pryor, number 5, is the man at second. Kuda's slow kick and delivery. Now here's going to be a steal attempt, and he's safe. That was close. But he just couldn't get the call going his way. A good throw from Frigoletti. Not exactly like his strikeout throw over to first that we saw earlier in the inning. Some signs of improvement from your seniors out there on the field. 2-0 is our count. 6 straight balls thrown from Eli Kuda. We'll see if he can change that up. The pitch. A swinging strike. That very well could have been a ball if he held off, but not the case, as we are with a 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 away. Runner on third. The pitch. Another swinging strike from Eli Kuda. Throwing on the money now after his bad streak of 6 straight balls. And now as we're even in the count, he's got an opportunity to close this inning. But that's not going to do it. It'll get away from Frigoletti. No advance from third from Pryor, though he very well could have made it. But he's just going to stick with the security at third. Already 20 pitches from Eli Kuda. The 21st is on its way. And that one a liner in the left, but that one will be very much foul over a couple fans. And we'll do it again with a full count. Three balls, two strikes, the payoff pitch, swung on. This one will once again be in that same area. Barrett not going to be able to get to it regardless, but luckily it's just not fair. We'll do it again once more with a full count, with two out here in the top of the second. There's a runner at third. That's Pryor. He reached on that four-pitch walk earlier from Kuda. The 23rd of the inning is on its way, and this one will be once again down that third baseline and once again foul. A long at-bat. Kuda just wanting to get out of the at-bat. Granted, the hitter, Bridgeforth, most likely not too comfortable either. But perhaps you could say he's in control with multiple foul balls in a row. That was his third. This offering swung on and missed. It'll be fouled back. And he'll just throw on to third to try and get the out instead, but he was safe. And so the Red Raider defense is still going to have to be out there for another at-bat. Not exactly the wisest move from Frigoletti. A throw on to first, though it may not have worked. It would have given more of a chance to the Red Raiders. As Pryor comes in to score, it is a 1-0 ball game against the Lake Erie League opponent, the Bearcats of Bedford. We're still looking for our first hit from Bedford, but they have their first run. Here, a pickoff attempt back in on a dive is Bridgeforth. Pollard is now the man to bat for the Bearcats. He's the left fielder in this one. So Kuda, in his outing on the mound just this inning, has struck out 3, but he hasn't gotten 3 outs. Not just yet. The pitch, upstairs. And a big lead from Bridgeforth over at first, but so far not doing anything about it. 25 now from Kuda in the inning. A ball and no strikes with 2 away. But here, trying to get him over at second, and it looks like he might call him safe, and he will. And that he was. So Bridgeforth advancing from first to second. No pitch, but an advance from Bridgeforth from first to second, and another man in scoring position for the Bearcats. This pitch on its way, swung on and missed. We're even. 1-1 goes our count. And the 1-1 is on its way, swung on. Fouled back. It'll be off either the umpire or the catcher, and we'll move in front of him, but don't you worry. It's foul regardless. 2 strikes now on Pollard. A ball and a strike will contain our count. This next offering, a bit upstairs, ball 2, once again to an even count. A lot of 2s on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away with a runner on second. But that will be right down Main Street for strike number 3. So a 4-strikeout inning from Eli Kuda, and that's not something you're going to see too often, a 4-strikeout inning. But one we're seeing here, as so far Shaker pitching has been able to strike out 6 through 2. And Shaker going to need to get something going on offense as they now find themselves down early by a run. 1-0 is our score. We'll see what Shaker can do when we come back. Thanks for joining us. Now batting, we're going to be seeing our so far right fielder, Cooper Mears, the senior, of course. He set the single season save record for the hockey team this year. But now he's at the plate here at the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. Thanks for tuning in. The first pitch to him will be swung on up the middle, the shortstop all over it, then the throw on to first will be in time for the out. So one pitch, one out, and there goes Cooper Mears back to the dugout. And now it'll be Eli Kuda. He gave up the one run so far that's on the scoreboard to Bedford. As last inning, he threw 29, 16 strikes, 13 balls. 16 strikes, 13 balls. And a big swing and miss from Kuda. A ball and a strike goes our count. Kuda standing in the left-handed hitter's box, normally one to hit over to that right side of the baseball field. Though he's got a couple to shallow left. This next offering looked perhaps a bit upstairs, but ruled a strike to him. Kuda so far rocking a 261 average entering today. He's looking to expand upon that. The 1-2. A bit down low, ball 2. Shaker Athletics getting a lot of action if you come here to the Shaker Heights High School. A girls lacrosse practice behind us. Here, this one's popped over foul. But a girls lacrosse practice behind us. Many runners on the track for the track team this season. And of course, what we're broadcasting right now, the Red Raider baseball team is out here playing Bedford. The 2-2, we'll do it again. That one outside, ball 3. Just missed. But it was definitely out. You could tell all the way from out here. So another full count. We've had many full counts early in this ball game. And the payoff pitch fouled back into the chest of Bardo. The man catching the balls and strikes behind the dish for Bedford. 1-0 our score. Kuda, the second batter for the Red Raiders in this bottom of the second, looking to get something going for this Red Raider offense. They're still hitless. This pitch looked outside but ruled a strike, and he'll ring him up. A brutal call to Eli Kuda, but one we're going to have to live with as he hangs his head as he goes to the dugout. And with Kuda retired, it'll bring up the senior, George McGinnis, normally a pitcher. And the first pitch to him won't catch the strike zone, a ball. There's 2 away. George McGinnis looking to get some sort of 2-out rally going. The 1-0 swung on this one to the third baseman, but he's not going to get it. I believe he believed the shortstop had him backed up. Didn't make too much of an effort, or at least not a successful effort, as George McGinnis is going to find the gap and reach safely to first. That is our very first Red Raider hit, and actually our first hit of the ball game. And that'll bring up Wes Call, the typical OP, only pitcher, but today the center fielder, and we probably won't see him out there again this season. The first of the at-bat, a ball down low, and the stealing attempt from McGinnis will be successful. He had a good jump on the pitcher, and he's able to be in with a slide. Two outs now. A runner in scoring position for the Red Raiders. We'll see what Wesley Call can do. The next to him will catch the strike zone. A bit on the lower side of the strike zone, but a strike it is. And Call gonna need to put bat to ball now as he's in a 2-strike count. George McGinnis taking his lead from second. He'll steal, but it'll be a strike anyway, as that will be a backwards K for Bridgeforth, his second K of the evening. And though it doesn't exactly compare to Shaker's 6, it'll have to do as they are winning in a 1-0 score. Shaker's defense has been good, just not perfect as they find themselves down. We'll see if they can clean things up when we come back. We're getting set for the top of inning number 3. And on the hill right now, it's going to be Cooper Mears. He's only got 1 inning pitched this season. That was against Garfield Heights. In that 1 inning, he was able to keep it scoreless. So you never know. He's got an ERA of 0.0. And he struck out the side. So we'll see what he can do. They're almost hitting the batter, and they're almost doing it again. Or he did it. Never mind. Not as good of a start to an outing as we saw against Garfield Heights, but a start we're going to have to go with, as 2 pitches, a ball, and another ball that eventually ran in on the batter. So Gordon taking his spot at first. Hudson now going to be the batter in the right-handed hitter's box. Not exactly sure what the matter is, but the umpire behind the dish going over to the Red Raider dugout and talking to him. Again, not sure why. Runner at first, no balls, no strikes, no outs. A stealing attempt. Wes Call's throw is not going to be on the money, as that will be very much to the left of George McGinnis covering second, and the stealing attempt will be successful from Gordon. So now a runner in scoring position. It's number 13, Gordon. And there's a ball and one strike for the moment on Hudson. Hudson 0 for 1. Just getting word from the outfielders, they're my source. They weren't sure if the batter swung or not. The umpire just forgot, I suppose, which isn't exactly the most professional thing, but it's what happens sometimes in the name of baseball. This one a grounder to the shortstop. Flynn blocked the throw in time but close. But in time is the only part that matters, though the runner from second, Gordon, will advance to third, deeper into that scoring position. Five pitches from Cooper Mears brings us to where we are now with one out and one man on over at third. And the next from Mears, very well, was outside. And Gordon, if it did get away from West Call, could have made his way home. Luckily, it did not. So West Call now the man behind the dish with Cooper Mears on the hill. We're having an interesting arrangement of things as we are on senior day. Here's a grounder over to Nolan James, ranging in on the infield. He'll make the throw over to first, across the diamond. He will get the out, but the run does score from third. It's 2-0. Head coach Stephen English normally one to experiment with his lineup against Lake Erie League teams, but perhaps this game could get a little more competitive as Shaker's down 2 runs. There's a ball from Cooper Mears. There's 2 away. Mears just looking to get out of the inning. A ball and no strikes with 2 away. A swing and a miss. A big swing and a miss from Thomas at the plate. Thomas 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was one of the first 4 batters to strike out. And here's another hit by pitch from Cooper Mears. Or perhaps they're saying the batter might have leaned into it a bit too much to the umpire's liking. A bit of a surprising call from the umpire, perhaps just a little inch movement from the shoulder of number 7, Lennon. Not too much movement, but the umpire not going to like whatever movement is coming from Lennon. And it'll just be a ball. Here, fouled over to the dugout over to the right. The next to him upstairs, Cooper Mears, not with too much control of his pitches at the moment. Shaker needing a win here. It would be somewhat disappointing if they didn't, as they're having a big winning streak against Lake Erie League teams, but that will help the cause as he'll get the strikeout. A bit of controversy on that Bedford call on the hit by pitch, and the coach clearly vocalizing his matters as he makes his way to the dugout, crossing the coach, but regardless, you're not going to get the call you want. And so, Bedford going to take the field once more. Shaker needing to get some sort of offense going. They've only got one hit, and we'll see if they can expand on that when we come back. Thanks for joining. And thank you very much for joining. Tagan's been subbed in for Thomas Barrett, most likely because of that bat that Will Tagan is able to bring to the plate. Thomas Barrett, not exactly a hitter for the Red Raiders, typically the pitcher. That one, a bit inside, but an unfortunate call to Will Tagan as it'll go for strike number one. And the 0-1 is on its way and outside for ball number one. 1-1 goes our count. Will Tagan, the very last of the starting 9. He is the only senior that is not in the lineup for the Red Raiders. Or excuse me, he is the only non-senior that is in the lineup for the Red Raiders. That one very much high, a out-of-control pitch from Bridgeforth. And not one you'd exactly want to see again in the name of your safety if you're Will Tagan. Will Tagan, a guy who can hit all over the place. He leads the team as well with 3 home runs. This next offering, low and away, another ball to him. 3-1 goes our count, and we'll see if he can draw a walk. But if they want to give him a pitch to hit, Will Tagan can also drive this one out of here if need be. And so, the 3-1. Swung on. This one popped up. An unfortunate end to the at-bat as the catch is going to be made. Almost fell out of the glove of Thomas, but that it does not. It's out number 1 on the inning. That'll take us back to the top of the lineup as Sam Friguletti will be in the right-handed hitter's box. He's 0 for 1. The only 2 hitters for the Red Raiders that aren't 0-1 are Flynn Block. He got hit by a pitch his first time up. And George McGinnis, the only man to get a hit so far in the ballgame. So far, Shaker keeping a no-hitter, but they're down 2-0. A ball and no strikes to Sam Friguletti. And that one a very hittable strike. But Friguletti not going to pull the trigger. Number 23 is now with an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. 35 pitches from Bridgeforth so far, and the 36th from number 14 is on its way. A swing and a miss from Friguletti. Bridgeforth so far working with a nice strike-to-ball ratio. Not exactly perfect, but he's got 21 strikes to 15 balls. The 1-2 very much upstairs. Frigoletti going to hold back. And we're back to another even count. 2-2. We're seeing a lot so far of a 1-1 count, moving to a 2-2 count, and then it goes from there. But we're seeing a lot of even counts. But the deadlock of the at-bat will be broken with this next offering. Inside a ball. We'll go to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And we'll be able to count this one down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody's on here in the bottom of the third, but Shaker needing to get their offense going. Only 1 hit to this point, but they find themselves down. And here a liner into left, number 2, able to get under it. A nice running grab from the center fielder, and that'll get some cheers from the away supporters. And as rain drops by Metro Boomin plays, that means Flynn Block, the shortstop in this one, is going to be headed to the right-handed batter's box. He's in the number 2 hole today, and he is 0 for 0, the one man to get on without an at-bat. However, this looks like it very well could be an out, as this one's popped up on the infield, and it is a pop-out. 2-0 is our score. A bit of an unfortunate start to this inning, as we are now through 3. And Shaker is down 2. We'll see what happens moving forward, as we will be right back with inning number 4. Thank you very much for tuning in. Only 1 hit to start us off. That's from Shaker, but they're losing by 2. Thank you very much for joining us. We are getting set for the top of inning number 4. That first pitch a bit upstairs to open up our top of the inning. The next on its way. Frigoletti now the pitcher, as he will get the swinging strike. And we are to an even count, 1-1. Shaker finds themselves down 2 in a 2-0 score. That one will catch the strike zone, though the batter trying to scoot his way out of the way. Just not going to work for him. Williams, the batter, he's 0 for 1. And this one perhaps a bit upstairs. Frigoletti now our pitcher. I don't believe he's pitched this season. And no, he has not. He's only taken the field. There, a backwards K will be achieved from Sam Frigoletti, the senior, getting his first crack at things on the bump. And number 23 will get the backwards K. There you go. Strikeout number 8 from the Red Raiders. And we're just getting started here in the top of the 4th. Big strikeout numbers for Shaker. So far, only 2 strikeouts on the Red Raiders. A different approach to things. However, the Red Raiders, though they're putting it in the field, they're just not able to get it much of anywhere besides the infield. And if they do get it in the outfield, it's just a flyout. George McGinnis with the only hit of the ball game. That's for the Red Raiders. So far, however, no errors from either side, and that's a good way to start us off. 3 balls, no strikes, as there is ball number 4, a 4-pitch walk after a beauty of a strikeout from Sam Frigoletti. He will walk Pryor on pitch number 9. His 10th will be to Bridgeforth, the pitcher for Bedford. But Frigoletti going to need to slow things down. We're more than likely looking at a stealing attempt, as there is a pickoff attempt that will be unsuccessful. Pryor back in on a dive. But Bedford been very aggressive on the base paths. And here's a pop-up. It looks like it'll get into center. Cooper Mears is under it. He will make the easy grab. And there will be no advance attempt, of course, from the man at first. So there you go, Cooper Mears getting the fly out as he enters into the outfield. There's 2 away now here in the top of the 4th. There's a runner at first, and that's Pryor. Frigoletti's first pitch of the at-bat is on its way to Pollard. Pollard 0 for 1. However, this one will not be on its way, as the pickoff attempt over to Pryor over at first, not going to be successful. Birch, the man covering first, but he's not able to get the ball any more than it's coming to him. Here, the throw on to George McGinnis, the stealing attempt, and he got him. Or, excuse me, never mind. Oh, no. Looks like he just dropped it. Just a tad bit late. A bit of a delay on the drop, but a drop nonetheless. George McGinnis might be kicking himself after that one. It was in the glove, just couldn't hang on to it. So there's now a man in scoring position once more for the Bedford Bearcats. The pitch from Frigoletti. Swung on and missed. That'll even the count. Once again, a 1-1 count. As I said earlier, we're getting a lot of 1-1 counts that work itself to 2-2 and perhaps to full. The next offering, upstairs and in, ball 2. Wouldn't be surprised if this next one's a strike to even it back up at 2-2. There's 2 away. Frigoletti with 13 pitches in his outing so far. And he's just wanting to cap off the inning. Looking to limit the damage. Here, a pickoff attempt over to second. As Pryor tried to get a good jump on Frigoletti. Not going to work. Frigoletti a bit too cautious on the bump. And so Pryor going to be kept close. Here's the offering. A bit outside. A ball. So 3-1 goes our count. And this one up and in. Ball 4. That'll put 2 runners on the bases. At first and at second. As though Sam Frigoletti hasn't allowed anyone to score just yet. It could happen as there's 2 outs with 2 on in a 2-run ball game. We'll get a mound visit. We will take a brief break. We will be right back. Thanks for joining. And thanks for sticking with us. Sam Frigoletti still going to be the man on the bump after the mound visit. But he's going to have to be cautious now as there's one man in scoring position at second. That's Pryor, and the man at first is Pollard. Shaker looking to keep their streak of Lake Erie League victories alive, but they're just going to need to get some offense going. Here it's upstairs, a ball. Gordon is 0 for 0 with a hit by pitch. There, a big swinging strike. With 2 away, Frigoletti's just trying to get out of the inning with the 2 men on. Here, that'll find the strike zone for sure. That one right down the middle. And a ball and 2 strikes to Gordon. And here another pickoff attempt over to second. Pryor taking some big leads over to second. And he's keeping Frigoletti uncomfortable. However, in the name of uncomfortable, Gordon going to need now to protect as there's 2 strikes on him. However, not too much to think about there as that one is coming in hot, but it's coming in very much upstairs. 2-2, we're even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away with 2 men on in a 2-run ball game. Too many 2s on the scoreboard. And there is strike 3 and out. Number 3, not exactly sure if Frigoletti knew it as he was making his way back to the mound, but 3 outs it is, and we are halfway through this one. Not exactly the most successful half as Shaker only able to get 1 hit, no run support, but Bedford able to get their 2 runs on no hits. So we will see what Shaker can do on offense. They're just needing to get it going. We'll be back to see if they can do just that. So after a 1-2-3 inning from the Red Raiders on offense in the third, they're here for the bottom of the fourth with Marcus Birch, James, and Mears due up. Birch, the left-handed hitter, of course, standing in that left-handed hitter's box, and the first pitch to him will be up high and away. That was pitch number 41 from Bridgeforth. He's got 23 strikes and 21 balls. Not exactly a fabulous ratio. This one's once again a bit up and away for ball 2. Birch 0 for 1. Looking to change that up here. Birch, one of the batters for the Red Raiders that's able to just get contact on the ball and send it anywhere on the field. Whether it be infield, whether it be outfield, he can send it to the right, to the left, any which way. We'll see if he can do the same. This one, a strike right down the middle. Birch didn't want to pull the trigger on a 3-0 count. So 3-1 goes the count. Shaker needing to get some sort of offense going. And if Birch can be the leadoff man and get something going, and there he's going to be a base runner for Shaker, as he'll draw the 5-pitch walk. Nolan James will be coming up to the plate. Number 17, the number on the back of his jersey, and he has some power behind the bat. And you can see the shifting of the outfielders here for Bedford, moving over to that left side of the field. And that's because they know where Nolan James is going to make contact towards. He sometimes can put it over to the right, but if it's got power behind it, normally not the case. And that is why the outfielders are moving over to the left. So runner at first, it's Marcus Birch. Nolan James, the batter, with nobody away. The kick, the pitch. Marcus Birch going to steal on pitch number 1, and he will without a throw. He's in standing, and he is in scoring position. Nolan James with one swing of the bat could cut the lead down to 1, or you never know, it could tie this thing up. One ball, no strikes, nobody out. This pitch to Nolan James swung on, and this one's going to be popped up. The pitcher under it, and now here Marcus Birch trying to advance, but he'll need to regroup. No one covering second, so no throw is going to be able to be made, but Marcus Birch will move back to second safely. So that'll bring up Cooper Mears. He's got an RBI opportunity with Birch still at second. Cooper Mears 0 for 1. Looking to go 1 for 2. This pitch swung on. Can it find the gap? It doesn't look like it can. And here the throw not going to be in time, and he's all over the baseline as Cooper Mears just runs right into him over at first. And Cooper Mears clearly just banged up after running into the first baseman. Not able to make his way through the baseline, and now it looks like the coaches will come out. We will take a step back as the coaches take a step forward. We will be right back. And we're back. Cooper Mears will be staying in the ball game after some unfortunate and never welcome contact between the first baseman and the runner down the first base line. But Cooper Mears just ran right into him and he went down quickly. Luckily, nothing came of it. Mears went to the dugout but came right back to first, I suppose with some more equipment. So runners at the corners now. Marcus Birch, the man at third. And the first pitch to Kuda will be in for a strike. Mears quickly advancing to second without a throw. The day has quickly gotten colder, though not exactly cold. We know cold here in Northeast Ohio. This isn't exactly it, but definitely chillier for the men out on the field. This one upstairs, 1-1 goes the count. There's one away with two men in scoring position. Big chance for Kuda to get something going for the offense. The 1-1 is on its way. A swing, and that one will be to the second baseman. He'll fumble with it. The throw won't be caught, and that will end up bringing Marcus Birch home, and also Cooper Mears home. And my goodness, not sure what's going on over at first, but 2 runs will score regardless. And it looks like Kuda will be safe, as the umpire going to say Kuda never rounded the base. However, the coach of Bedford going to discuss with the umpire. And it looks like we'll get a collection to the mound from the infielders. But we're back to tied, so there's a big plus for your Red Raiders. As Kuda able to drive in 2, though he'll technically reach on the error. And so Shaker still only with 1 hit, Bedford with 0, but somehow we are tied at 2. So the runner at first is Kuda. George McGinnis at home plate. He had some power behind the bat, not getting any over the outfield in batting practice here today. Pitcher stepping off the bag, wanting to keep Kuda close. Bridge 4. Be other opportunities to advance to second in this AB. McGinnis, the only hit in the ball game to this point. It was only a single, but that single is the one hit we might look back upon in times like this. Here, it'll get away from the catcher for a ball. Kuda rounding second, but he'll only threaten to advance as he will stick over at second. So another runner in scoring position for Shaker. They've got the only multi-run inning for the Red Raiders. This pitch to McGinnis, and that'll get away from him once more. Way too elevated. Kuda's going to be in, standing at third. There's only one away. McGinnis with the ability to bring the Red Raiders a lead. Two balls, no strikes to to George McGinnis. Eli Kuda, the runner at third. This one swung on. That one looks like it will get into the shallow center field and call it a bloop single. A bloop RBI single at that. As Shaker going to take the 1-run lead. A 3-run inning here in the 4th, and that's what you like to see from Shaker. There you go. And here another stealing attempt this time from George McGinnis, and he will be in with a smooth slide over at second. And there you go. In the senior day announcements, we highlighted George McGinnis' smooth play style per himself, but still nonetheless. And there you go, an example of it there. Here it's going to be swung on. This one into mid-range outfield. And number 2, the center fielder, is going to get under it for the out. No advancement from George McGinnis. He'll stay at second in scoring position. George McGinnis is the only man with multiple hits, but he's the only one with a hit in this ball game. Both sides, only 2 hits. There you go, George McGinnis. That comes with 1 RBI to his name as well. Kudo with the other 2. Will Tagan's in, the home run leader for the Red Raiders. Here, a stealing attempt not going to work in succession. George McGinnis in standing on the steal attempt. And now Will Tagan's got an opportunity to drive home the run with 2 away. Three to 2 our score in the bottom of the 4th. Bridgeforth with his 58th on its way, and here's some good contact from Will Tagan. But that will not get down. The right fielder has it. And they're going to limit the damage, though the damage is done. Shaker taking the lead 3 to 2. And Bedford still looking for their first hit, and we'll see if they can get it when we come back. But they got to get this lead back quick. They've only got 9 more outs to work with. We're through 4. We've got 3 more for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will be right back. We're through 4, which brings us to the top of 5. Our pitcher now will be Flynn Block. Number 10, the number on the back of his jersey. In his last outing, not exactly one to remember. Only 2 earned runs to his name in that outing, but 8 did come across, off 3 hits and 2 walks. But now here he is, Twinsburg, known as being a more competitive baseball team compared to Bedford, but you never know. That pitch looked a bit inside, but the strike is called. 3 to 2 our score. Shaker just took the lead in that 4th inning, off of a 3-run 4th inning. 2 RBI from Eli Kuda, 1 from George McGinnis. George McGinnis, the only 2 hits in the ball game to this point. Bedford still being no hit. Flynn Block looking to continue that. This one, down low, for a ball. This next one will catch the strike zone. A bit low, but the call going his way. Nobody's away here in the top of the fifth. And this next one will be ball 4. Though he threw some good strikes in that at-bat, it'll be a walk. Unfortunately, he can't escape the walk sometimes, and there it is right there. So Gordon earning his place over at first. And this first pitch very much inside. Close to getting Hudson, but that it does not. And it'll just be ball 1. And here, it'll be to Nolan James. He was looking to cover second on the steal. But Cooper Mears, oof, looks like it'll be baseline interference on Cooper Mears. And not something you like to see, as Gordon then with the baseline interference moves from second to third. So it'll be runners at the corners with nobody out. Opportunity, a great opportunity to tie up this ball game at 3. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Flynn Block still has some work to do out on the hill. Hudson at first, Gordon at third. The batter now is going to be Bardo. Block checking the runner at first before any delivery. But here it comes. Slowly. Upstairs and high as well. He's thrown very much upstairs. Some down low, but upstairs mainly. And not what you like to see. Definitely not wanting to replicate his last outing. But a start similar to it. Here the throw cut off from Flynn Block. The stealing attempt will be good from Hudson. He'll move up from first to second. Gordon just sticking over at third. So now 2 men in scoring position. And here it'll get away from the catcher. That's Wes' call. But no advancement will be made from third, as Gordon's sticking with the security of third. Still nobody out, but 2 balls and a strike to Bardo. Bardo 0 for 2. Looking to change that with a swing here, as Bedford just got their very first hit in their last at-bat. There you go. Bedford, the team in green and white, and some black accents as well. Shaker, your Red Raiders, of course, in red, defending their home territory. This one swung on. That one could very well get down, but Marcus Birch is under it, and no advancement will be made from third. A bit of a surprising no advancement, but Marcus Birch in a bit of shallow right field, and he has got a great throwing arm from right field. And so, even if the advancement were to be made from Gordon, Marcus Birch very well could have thrown him out. Wouldn't put it past him. So now Thomas is up to the right-handed hitter's box, and the first pitch to him will be called strike number 1. Flynn Block in a bit more of a groove. That at-bat, a bit of a bounce back for him, perhaps. And this one swung on. A tapper to Flynn Block. He'll go home with it. And not exactly sure. I suppose that's an out call. And so, or excuse me, no, that's not the case. Looks like he fouled it off. So we'll do it again with no balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. 2 men on, both in scoring position. Hudson at second, Gordon at third. This pitch up and in, and this time it'll get away from him. West Call can't make a throw home. There's run number 3 for Bedford, and we're back to tied 3-3 is our score. So there's still going to be a runner over at third, and that's going to be Hudson. And he represents the go-ahead run for the men in green. The 1-2 is on its way to Thomas. A swing and a miss, a much-needed swing and a miss. For the forwards K, there you go. That'll bring us to 2 outs. And my goodness, take a breather. However, it doesn't exactly cancel out the danger of the runner at third. Hudson is that runner at third. And the first pitch of this at-bat, just barely gets the strike zone on the inside half of the plate. Lennon is the batter. He's 0 for 2, along with many of his teammates. And this time it'll be fouled over to that right side, and I believe into that right side bullpen, the away bullpen. Cooper Beer's not able to make that play. Or excuse me, Free-Letty not able to make that play. Excuse me, these defensive positions all over the place here on Senior Day, something that we will normally see on Senior Day, and that one, a floater into the strike zone. Flynn Block able to get another strikeout for the Red Raiders, and my goodness, that is 11 strikeouts from the Red Raiders through 5 innings of defense. And there you go. So, with 5 innings on defense, they've still got a 5th to go on offense, and we'll see if they can take that lead right back. A good outing for the offense last inning. We'll see if we can replicate it next. Thank you very much for joining us. And we're back to the top of the lineup, and our leadoff man to start the day is Sam Frigoleti, and he is 0 for 2 and looking to change that. So through 5 innings of defense, Shaker has allowed 3, but they've countered it strongly as a part of that last 4th inning of offense. That pitch inside. That is their only 3 runs coming from that 4th inning. The 3 runs come on 2 hits and only 1 walk and 1 hit by pitch. They've only been struck out 2 times, but that's a different story for Bedford. They've been struck out 11 times. That pitch upstairs. Another ball to Frigoleti. The surprising thing with the strikeout numbers is that Number one, none of the pitchers that we've seen haven't thrown a strikeout yet. And another thing, that pitch, I believe outside, another ball to Frigoletti, is that Eli Kuda has 4 strikeouts to his name in 1 inning. And that was due to the play at home and not the play at first that ended up not working out. And so the runner was able to reach first and continue the inning. There, Frigoletti, I'm not sure if that got him. It was definitely close, but regardless, it would have been ball 4. So, as he heads over to first, heading up to the plate is going to be Flynn Block. Block, one of the many seniors of the lineup here today. The only non-senior is Will Tagan. And here's the stealing attempt. And, oof, just not able to evade the tag. It looked like he might have. But Frigoletti on the run, even if no throw is being made to first. Frigoletti thought he had the jump, but the jump just not going to work. And 1 base runner on, 1 base runner out. So 1 out. And here's Flynn Block. A tapper foul over to the left side. Over near that dugout, almost hit his coach. That's not going to earn you any brownie points. So 1 away with no on. And there's a strike to Flynn Block. Second strike to him. No balls to him either. So now he's going to have to protect 0-2. The pitch on its way, the 65th. From Bridgeforth will get a swing and miss. Yikes. Shaker with an unfortunate inning thus far. Able to reach on the walk is Frigoletti. He's caught stealing off of an unfortunate jump. And Marcus Birch will be up now after the Flynn Block strikeout. Marcus Birch today is 0 for 1. Able to draw the only walk for the Red Raiders. And you never know, he could do it with again. He could do that again with that pitch almost getting away from the catcher there. But he's able to regroup and get it into his catcher's glove. Anyway, 3-3 our score. Shaker looking to change that with a swing from Marcus Birch to allow Nolan James up to the plate. And you know, these 2 hitters can get something going. This pitch, oof, looked a bit outside, not the case. One ball, 1 strike. 2 are out here in the bottom of the 5th. It's looking like this one could be a nail-biter to the end. The pitch, down low. Most definitely a ball, ball 2. It is definitely quieted behind us as the day has gone on. The lacrosse practices are over, the track meets are over, and now it's just a couple of Shaker residents making their way around the track. That one upstairs, another ball to Marcus Birch. It has also gotten much colder here today. Not exactly cold if you are an Ohio resident, but chilly. And there is another ball to Marcus Birch, and it is a 5-pitch walk to Birch. And there you go. That'll make way for Nolan James, the right-handed hitter, the one with power behind the swing. And we will see what Nolan James can do here. He is 0 for 2, but you never know when he can get hot. He's got a man at first to think about. Doesn't want to leave him hanging with 2 out. The first to him. And here's the stealing attempt. No throw, as Marcus Birch will be in standing. So now, a runner in scoring position for Nolan James to get him home and take the lead for his squad. A ball and no strikes to Nolan James. The pitch. Swung on, and this one just a bit under it, as that one's going to be a pop out to the deep infield. And on the edge of the dirt, it'll be Thomas making the catch moving from shortstop. And unfortunately, Nolan James going 0 for 3 here today. So that'll end the fifth as we are tied 3-3. Shaker looking to keep their streak of Lake Erie League victories alive, but they're just going to need to pick up their offense some more if they have hopes of doing just that. But it'll come with some Red Raider defense as well. It looks like Nolan James might be getting this inning on the mound. We'll see what he can do. We are back for the top of inning number 6, and an interesting pitch from Nolan James as that one floated its way for a ball, and here another hittable ball, this time to third for George McGinnis. The throw right on the money across the diamond from George McGinnis. There is out number 1, a beauty of a throw from McGinnis. Some smooth play style, if you ask me. So Nolan James, not one to pitch, and it kind of shows in his pitch delivery. But so far, 2 pitches and 1 out isn't so bad. However, that pitch will get away from the man behind the dish. There's ball number 1. A ball and no strikes with 1 away here as we begin the top of the 6th. The next... Ooh, and there's some more heat from Nolan James. There you go. And it'll get the swinging strike. And so we're with 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. The next to him. Outside a ball. And now it looks like Nolan James not trying to mess around. He's getting right to it. The next pitch will be on its way now. Down low, it'll get away from, I believe, Wes Call is still back there behind the dish. Or, excuse me, that's not the case. He's over and right. Not exactly sure who's behind the dish. Nolan James with the next offering. The 2-1. Oh my goodness. And that was 3 balls and 1 strike, the count. And now a bit of a catastrophe over there on the diamond, as the throw won't even reach Nolan James as it's behind him. Eli Kuda luckily able to get back to it and get it over to James on the mound. But here we go. Pryor at first with one away. Nolan James now has a runner to think about over at first, and now that throw not on the money whatsoever. And now the advancement all the way over to third, but that's on the money, and he got him. Oh my! The throw from first from, I believe that is Sam Friguletti, and my goodness, what a good throw across the diamond. Whew! That's what you like to see. Sam Friguletti, the throw. And the catch from George McGinnis, not exactly on the base, but he's able to recover as the speed of Pryor is just not enough. So now two away, luckily for Nolan James, as his pitching has not been all that stellar. But there is a strike to Bridgeforth. And here, a swinging strike. There you go. Nolan James getting another strikeout for his team. And so, the Red Raiders are through 6 now. And still, we are waiting to see a Red Raider pitcher not pick up a strikeout against the Bedford Bearcats. There you go right there. We'll see what they can do on offense. They've got 6 more outs to work with. And they're not wanting to tie the Bedford Bearcats. We'll see what they can do when we come back. Thanks for joining. We're back for the bottom of the 6th. Thanks to you for joining us. My name's Vaughn Ullum. We've got an inning and a half more to go. And now batting, it is going to be the first baseman, typically Cooper Mears. However, as we've seen today, the Red Raiders going all over the place on the defensive side, as it is senior day. Cooper Mears 0 for 2, but he's got a run to his name. That pitch not going to find the strike zone. 1-0. As I believe that was our first pitch, and that it was. Making sure that wasn't another warm-up. It was not. And now here, a liner in the left. That'll get down foul over to that left side in unplayable territory. So 1-1, we're to an even count with nobody out just yet here in the bottom of the 6th. Cooper Mears is up. Behind him, it's Kuda and McGinnis also due up here in the bottom of the 6th. And this pitch swung on a tapper foul to that left side. 1-2 our count off of the first ball of the at bat, and then the back-to-back foul balls. This next one will hit him, and Cooper Mears, one to just take a beating at the plate. He is one to get plenty of those hit by pitches. And now the Bedford coach is going to complain, most likely due to that pitch earlier that wasn't ruled a hit by pitch to his batter. And now the umpire going to discuss with him. Now, Superhero by Metro Boomin plays. That'll cue up Eli Kuda. Kuda 0 for 2, but he's got those 2 RBI to his name up to this point. And the umpire, obviously not going to change his mind due to the coach's understanding of it. One of the biggest curses of sports. The umpire or the referee not going to change their mind due to your lovely words. Here, the ball up high and away, and Cooper Mears will be in on the advance from first to second without a throw. Eli Kuda now with an opportunity with nobody out and a runner in scoring position. 1 ball to him. And that one, oof, that'll get away from him. The 78th pitch will go as ball 2 in Bridgeforth. He's showing some signs of fatigue. 40 strikes with 38 balls, and now it looks like his day could be done as we'll get the mound visit. We will be right back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Von Ullum, and yes, we will be right back. It will be the end of Bridgeforth's night. So that concludes Bridgeforth's night. And with that, it'll still be a 2-ball and no strike count on Eli Kuda. Kuda 0 for 2, but looking to change that with a swing here and hopefully an RBI. With Cooper Mears standing at third. This one right down the middle. A beauty of a pitch from number 1. I believe that's Hudson, as he made that switch with Bridgeforth at second. So 3-1 is actually our count, excuse me. And this one's going to get away from him. The speedy Cooper Mears is going to be in without a slide. He's just running his way all the way to the dugout. And It'll be ball 4 nonetheless. And Cooper Mears scores. He's run number 4. A 4-3 lead is what is up for your Red Raiders. Kuda, the man now at first. And it's George McGinnis, the only one with Red Raider hits. He's got the 2. He's 2 for 2. And we will see what happens next. This one upstairs. Here, the stealing attempt. For me, like Kuda, he's in without a slide as well. Shaker looking to widen the gap between these two opponents, these two rivals here today. Shaker not looking to lose their first game to a Lake Erie League opponent. That's not exactly how I should word that. They're not looking to have their first Lake Erie League loss against the Bedford Bearcats. That is a better way of wording it. This one going to get away from it. It'll be off the pad of the catcher, getting away from him, and George McGinnis is over at third. Still nobody out. Kuda is over at third. Still nobody out for George McGinnis at home plate. McGinnis, 2 for 2, looking to go 3 for 3. And here, he will, and he'll find the gap. He's got 2 men diving on the infield over the left side. The third baseman and shortstop not going to be able to come up with it, and as it goes into shallow left, George McGinnis will indeed go 3 for 3. He's got the 3 hits for the Red Raiders up to this point. And that will be RBI number 5 for the Red Raiders. 5-3 now our score. And we will see if they can even expand that further. Wes Call now, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Not typically your hitter in situations like this, but it's senior day, so head coach Stephen English threw all the seniors into the starting 9. Only 8 seniors on this baseball team. So Will Tagan is the 9th man. Here it's popped up in the deep infield. It'll be Bridgeforth getting under it and making the pop fly. And so with Wes Call going 0 for 3, he'll make his way back to the dugout. McGinnis not able to advance, of course, on the pop-up. He's at first. But now it looks like he's going to go for a steal. Here's a good contact by Will Tagan. That'll one bounce up to the wall. George McGinnis going to make his way home. The coach will wave him all the way. And Will Tagan will be in safely at second with the RBI double. Will Tagan never seems to disappoint, does he? So 3 runs in the 4th, now 3 runs in the 6th. Will bring us to the 6 runs of Red Raider offense, as they are leading a 3-run ball game. Bedford has only got 3. So 1 away. Here's another pitch that's going to get away from the catcher. With a beauty of a first pitch from Hudson, we would have assumed that he would have had a shutdown inning, as his pitch went right down the middle to open up the first AB, but after that, he has struggled. So a ball and no strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Shaker entered into this inning with a tied ball game, but now they have doubled the Bedford score. 6-3 is our score. Sam Friuletti is in. He's 0 for 2. And here a liner in the left. That'll get down right by the baseline. And Friuletti rounding first. He'll be in standing with the standing RBI double as well. 7-3 goes our score. Will Tagan scoring off the RBI. And now these at-bats are getting a little contagious. And that'll bring up Flynn Block. He's, like many of these Red Raiders in the inning, got an RBI opportunity. And that pitch, once again, going to get away from the catcher. Friuletti going around third, but he's not going to make the advancement all the way. He'll be in safely with a standing advancement to third. Shaker has found their groove on offense. Here you go. This pitch up high, it'll get away from him once more. Frigoletti should be in on the slide. That he is. A smooth slide it is as he'll get up and head to the dugout. He is run number 8 for your Red Raiders. A 5-run sixth is what we've got for you here. And no, the Red Raiders are not done yet. Though perhaps we can reset things as the bases are empty now for Flynn Block. The next to Block, well, oof, that was close to getting him for sure. I think that might have been behind him. If not, it was just in front of him, but regardless, a dangerous pitch. So that's ball 3 to him, this next offering. And not surprised he's not pulling the trigger there. That one a bit low and away. For strike number 1, 3-1 is our count. The pitch swung on. This one's got power behind it. Over to left. And he will make the collapsing catch over and left. And good effort there from him. That's Pollard. And that's how you know he is dedicated to the game. That'll bring up Marcus Birch. He's 0 for 1. He's walked twice, however, and that's what you like to see. Working the count sometimes get you places, and oof. That a bit low of a strike, but the umpire sees what he sees, and he calls what he calls. And there you go there. And this next one swung on. This one gonna get through the first baseman. Clearly not satisfied with himself after that, but that's just what he's going to have to live with. As there is another single from your Red Raiders. Actually, perhaps an error on that one. And here comes Nolan James, with Phantom of the Opera playing on the speakers as he comes up to the right-handed batter's box. That's how you know it's time for something good from Nolan James. However, so far he hasn't been too successful. Here a stealing attempt going to work in succession for Marcus Birch. He'll make his way to second. But Nolan James going 0 for 3 today, and that's not in character. He's entering today with a 373 average. And yeah, not something you often see. And another pitch getting away from the catcher. And again, another runner from second advancing to third. This is becoming a cycle. The next pitch to Nolan James cannot find the gap. It doesn't look like it can. And the throw on to first will be in time. That's out number 3. Nolan James going 0 for 4, and as I said, that's not in character. He has only been no-hit 3 times this season, and I guess this is looking like it very well could be number 4. But with this inning drawing to a close, we can recap. It was a 5-run sixth, and so the Red Raiders just needing to close this out as we enter into the top of the 7th. Shaker defending their home territory well. And it looks like we are going to have it, perhaps a shutdown inning, as your Red Raider pitcher, George McGinnis, will be taking the mound when we come back. And you already know this is looking to be a solid outing of defense from the Red Raiders if the Bedford Bearcats can put bat on ball, as George McGinnis is coming to the bump. And here on Senior Day, he's going to be the closer. Shaker, not with any back-to-back pitchers in back-to-back innings. However, something to note is that each pitcher has gotten a strikeout in their one pitch of pitching, which is surprising in there. Oof, not exactly a way to open up your outing if you're George McGinnis. So we will open up the top of the 7th with a ball and no strikes to Pollard. The next offering will catch the strike zone. 1-1, we're even. Pollard, the man out in left field who got that tremendous collapsing grab. And now George McGinnis might have entered into a groove that we are used to seeing. Back-to-back strikes on the outside half of the plate. We'll see if he can close it out. 1-2, the pitch. And there it is. There you go. Perhaps a little low, perhaps a bit away as well, but George McGinnis getting the call his way, and now we can say with confidence that every single pitcher in this ball game, for the Red Raiders, of course, has gotten a strikeout, and that is just shocking, as there have been 7 different pitchers. But there you go. You never know. With George McGinnis, not exactly too surprising, as he's the man to rack up strikeouts. That time it is up and in, however, with an even count 1-1. But the rest of these pitchers that are never pitchers racked up some strikeouts. The only senior today that did not get some time on the bump was Wes Call, and that is most likely because in that victory on Friday, he was the man getting the start. That one a bit upstairs. Wes Call in that outing pitched 79 in his 4 innings, 51 of which were strikes. It was a great outing for him. This time a bit low. It's going to get away from the catcher, who I believe is Wes Call, if I'm not mistaken. Or, excuse me, I am mistaken. He's over at first. All we can tell is it is a senior behind home plate, which normally it would not be, as the 2 catchers for the Red Raider Ball Club are either Braden White, the sophomore, or Quentin Garnett, the junior. And there's a swinging strikeout, racked up once more from George McGinnis. And we are down to our last out of the ball game. George McGinnis with 2 strikeouts on 9 pitches, looking for, you never know, a 3rd strikeout on 12 pitches. The first offering will catch the strike zone, a vocal call from Blue behind home plate. Here in this last inning, we're seeing Andrew Fogarty out in left. He's the one non-senior on the field. This one's fouled back over to the Red Raider dugout. And now, Bedford down to their last strike. No balls. 2 strikes, 2 away in the top of the 7th and final inning. George McGinnis on his 12th pitch of his very brief 1-inning outing will be outside, trying to get him to chase. Hudson is our batter. He's 1 for 3. No extra base hits for Bedford, and there it's not going to be any different as it'll get into shallow left. But it'll be to that left of the third base line. George McGinnis trying to close this one out. The kick, the pitch, the swing, and that one will get down. Into center. Into right center, I should say, and you never know. We're not done yet, though Bedford still is going to be down to their last out. But they will stay alive. That's only the 2nd hit from the Bedford Bearcats here today, and it's by the same man. That's Hudson. Hudson, the leadoff man for the Bearcats. He's been at 2nd here today. And here, he'll run all the way over to 2nd on the advancement without a throw. from the catcher. That's Cooper Mears behind the dish, if you are wondering. And this next one, a grounder down the first base line. It will be foul. It'll get by West call, but no need to worry about it. Our count goes even, 1-1 with 2 away. George McGinnis with 16 pitches. It's 17th. Will be on its way in just a moment. The runner over at second, perhaps needing to tie his cleats. Now he'll take his lead. Hudson the runner. The pitch from McGinnis will be right down the middle, and that is strike number 3 to end the day. Shaker defending their home territory well here on Senior Day, as they will get the 5-run victory over Bedford, 8-3, and Shaker remains victorious and undefeated in the Lake Erie League. Now here today, we were against the Bedford Bearcats. Tomorrow, we will also be against the Bedford Bearcats. That time, we will be in Bearcat territory over in Bedford. We'll see if we will have a similar outcome to that one. But with the way Shaker continues to rack up the W's against the LEL, I don't see why they couldn't. So with that, the 8-3 victory, though the hits were not exactly tremendous in numbers. And there you go, the salute to the camera from the Red Raiders. And Shaker with their 8 runs off of 5 hits. Bedford with their 3 runs off of 2 hits. And Bedford with 3 errors. Shaker with 1. That brings us to the end of this broadcast. Thank you very much for joining us here at home on Senior Day. We are here to celebrate all the seniors, and they'll get the victory, and that is it. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Glad to commentate this victory for you. Hopefully we'll commentate one for you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.